Hello and welcome to another Path of Exile video. So this is what you can kind of expect top end Reeve to be able to accomplish pretty easily. This was ripped from a katabasis POB for Settlers League. So a lot of these like jewels, for example, they're gonna have, this one has like 30% elemental, essentially, crit multiplier. So 30% crit multiplier, another 30% plus crit multiplier, another 17% crit multiplier. Actually, no, that's another 30% crit multiplier. It's like that's like 90% crit multiplier. And yeah, this is like insane amount of crit multiplier that this is missing in comparison to the Catabasis POB. But literally all I did was drop some nodes over here. I picked up Frenzy Mark Mastery, else you will not be able to even get Frenzy charges into the build. And I allocated the Cold Mastery. Even with the Cold Mastery not existing, this still does more damage than a skill that has literally like perfect jewels across the board for its crit multiplier. So to show that, let me re-yoink the POB. This guy's name is Jubayr. It is the 12th highest DPS build in all of Settlers for Slayers specifically, if you care to look at this with me. So we are going to go to skills. We are going to remove Berserk because this does not have enough of time for it to actually work for the build. We are changing it to Ubers. We are enabling, making sure that everything is max. We are maxing out the rage. We are, have you killed, have you shattered? This is like hyper optimized. You do not need to you do not need to input like chill, whatever effect. And what else? What else? What else? There's something else that I'm missing because that is way too low. Surely this, I'm missing something. Is it really worse than I thought it was? Oh yeah, enemy needs to be frozen. I forgot because this is a heat shiver build. That's what it was. Anyways, 185 versus 220, and this is hyper optimized like every jewel. Basically, for like the purpose of the Reeve build, these jewels were 2 props, and this is a 4 prop jewel. So, yeah, like you want to talk about like hyper optimization. By the way, this build doesn't actually function in 326, so now it functions in 326. So 184 versus 220. And that 220 did not have hyper optimized jewels for the setup whatsoever. And yeah, it was just literally the same exact gear. So even in 325, it was already dealing more damage than a hyper optimized with like perfect 4 prop jewel katabasis, and people still wanted to play katabasis. Can't tell you like how much simpler it is, but if the 12th highest DPS Slayer build could go up in tiers of damage on POB Ninja or PoE Ninja, they wouldn't be playing Catabasis, but they obviously like the skill or just don't are unaware that Reeve is literally just a better skill. I don't know. But yeah, you the Berserk shit is just for PoE Ninja Warrior bullshit. It does not actually like it's not gonna work like that in game. Sure you might get like 2 seconds where like you can actually use Berserk and DPS the boss. But in 326, you're going to actually have to build up your endurance charges, your frenzy charges, and your power charges on a single target. So yeah, who knows? Uh, Almost 120 crit multiplier higher than the Reeve build, and it doesn't even compete with Reeve. Well, one can argue 40 million DPS competing with Reave when you're talking about Uber Pinnacles, but that's Uber Pinnacle 40 million. Like most builds can do Uber Pinnacles with just 10 million DPS. So I guess it is competing. So it's got to get nerfed because we can't have Reave being out DPS by katabasis for whatever reason. I don't think katabasis need nerfed. I don't think frostblades need a nerf. If anything, other skills need to be buffed up to that level. But that's just me. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something about how Reave can actually scale into the end game. See ya. Peace.